8 signs you are the narcissist. This one's a little different. Most people who click on videos like this do so with someone else in mind. A toxic ex, a manipulative parent, that one coworker who sucks the air out of every room. But what if, and hear me out, what if the narcissist isn't them? What if it's you? I know, that's not what you want to hear. But narcissism doesn't always show up in big gestures or mirror selfies. Sometimes it's quieter, slipperier. Sometimes it wears the mask of being the reasonable one. So in this video, we'll break down 8 subtle signs that maybe you're the narcissist in the room. 1. You feel emotionally generous, but only on your terms. You like to think you're giving. You listen to people vent, you give advice, maybe even help with errands. But here's the thing. If someone needs you at an inconvenient time, suddenly you're just protecting your peace. You offer empathy when it's convenient, not when it's needed. If your compassion has office hours, that's not generosity. That's control. Real empathy shows up even when it's messy, even when it's not about you. Especially then. 2. You confuse emotional distance with emotional intelligence. You're proud that you never blow up. You keep it cool during arguments. You analyze other people's reactions like a therapist with a clipboard. But here's the twist. You're not processing emotions. You're avoiding them. That detachment you wear like a badge, it might just be a way to stay above everyone else. Emotional maturity isn't about staying calm. It's about connecting, even when it's uncomfortable. Numbness is not the same as wisdom. 3. You constantly replay how others should have acted. You tell yourself you're just reviewing patterns, learning lessons, but if your mind's greatest hits playlist is just people disappointing you, betraying you, or falling short, you might not be the victim here. At some point, it's not about how others failed you. It's about why you expect perfection from people who were never auditioning for your fantasy. Reflection is healthy. Rehearsing your resentment? Not so much. 4. You apologize, but only when it secures your image. You've said sorry before, probably even with tears, but were you really sorry? Or just sorry they were mad? Sorry they caught you off guard? If your apologies are more about resetting the vibe than taking ownership, that's not growth. That's reputation maintenance. A true apology doesn't beg for forgiveness. It stands naked in the truth. No spin. No but you also. Just honesty. And yeah, that's terrifying. But real. 5. You treat being misunderstood as a personal attack. You spend more time explaining your intentions than hearing the impact. And when someone doesn't get it, you feel insulted. They're twisting my words. They always assume the worst. But here's the kicker. Not everyone is trying to villainize you. Some people are just hurt. If every disagreement makes you feel victimized, you might be less interested in connection and more interested in control. Oof, that one stings, doesn't it? 6. You collect people who admire you, not challenge you. Your inner circle? Supportive, loyal, always hyping you up. But do they disagree with you? Or is your world curated for compliments? If you start to feel edgy around people who question you, who offer pushback, or, God forbid, say no, it's worth asking why. True connection isn't about constant validation. It's about being seen, especially when you're wrong. Especially then. 7. You see other people's emotions as leverage. You know how to read people. You know when they're insecure, when they're upset, when they're aching for approval, and sometimes, instead of offering support, you subtly twist the knife. Not in obvious ways, just enough to keep the power tilted your way. You change your tone to guilt-trip them. You act indifferent when they need reassurance. If you've ever used someone's vulnerability as currency, that's not clever. That's cruel. Narcissism rarely announces itself. It whispers through micro-manipulations. 8. You secretly believe you're evolving faster than everyone else. You read the books, you listen to the podcasts, you've done the work, and deep down, you feel a little superior, like you're spiritually ahead, emotionally enlightened. But here's the plot twist. The moment you think you've outgrown everyone, you've actually stopped growing. The truly evolved don't feel above others. They feel with them. Because growth isn't a pedestal. It's a table, and everyone gets a seat. If this video made you uncomfortable, good. That's the whole point. Because narcissism doesn't just live in the loudest people. Sometimes it hides in the self-aware ones too, the ones who think they've got it all figured out.